Berserk 2017 will soon be making its way to our screens, so I thought I'd make a video on what I think we should be expecting this spring. After live reacting to Berserk 2016, I have seen many differing opinions over this topic and thought that I would bring together what we have seen so far in terms of improvement from Miller-Penzi and Studio Gemba, the studios behind the production of Berserk. So going back to when Berserk 2016 first started airing, the official Berserk Twitter page created for the show stated that the studios would be listening to the audience responses and making improvements to the show based off of these. If we can hold this to be true, then we could be seeing some of the key criticisms of the show amended for its return in 2017. One of the biggest criticisms for the show, which everybody has heard countless times, is that the animation quality focused far too much on CGI animation and had close to no traditional animation by comparison. Now, I realise that it is completely impractical for a show with the budget of Berserk 2016 to be pumping out completely traditionally animated episodes. The process would take far too long and it would be far too costly. CGI, after all, is usually used in anime as an alternative form of animation, something to cut corners when faced with difficult framing or shots. However, Berserk 2016 took this to a new level, not only cutting corners but using CGI for the most simple of tasks, savouring the 2D animation for the up-close, intricate details. Berserk 2016 was essentially a CGI television show with elements of traditional anime sprinkled throughout. But this isn't to say that the amount of 2D animation for the show was small, because in actual fact there was quite a bit of it. After going through every episode of Berserk 2016, and compiling together all of the 2D moments of the show, there is a total running time of 50 minutes. This is at least 2 episodes worth of 2D runtime, and that isn't counting the massive amounts of 2D backgrounds which we used and were almost indistinguishable between the 3D ones. If they used nothing but the 3D backgrounds, there would be much more time for 2D animators to focus on the characters instead, as the character models were one of the largest complaints that the show got, with some people saying Guts didn't look like Guts, and Zod looked like a fuzzy teddy bear. Personally, I agree, at least when it came to Guts, because whenever he turned his face to the side it just didn't look anything like him. It's not as if there hasn't been any cutting of corners in previous Berserk adaptations, it's just that they were handled much better. The original 1997 anime used numerous stills which painted a picture of what was generally going on in the scene and panned across them, whilst music or voice work was placed on top of it. This meant that not every moment needed to be animated, but as long as the still was timed correctly, it could convey a large variety of effective visuals. Additionally, the show has yet to experiment with the method that made the third Berserk movie in 2013 so successful. The movies had 3D character models, 2D character faces, and used the same frame rate for both. This technique fooled me and many others into thinking that the whole movie was 2D. After watching a couple of repeats, it genuinely surprised me to see how much 3D animation there was in the movie. It was just designed in a way that made it seem completely 2D. This technique benefited the third movie a tremendous amount, and among the fans, since day one, the animation for the third film stands up as one of the best looking adaptations Berserk has ever seen. If the new Berserk 2017 also implemented this method, along with the elimination of 2D backgrounds, we could be seeing a lot more 2D in the new anime, and it could actually be pulled off if done correctly. The only reason the anime so far has been torn to shreds by so many people is because the directing of the show was undertaken by someone who is clearly incapable of adapting anything into anime apart from Take You, a comedy sports anime about the frenetic adventures of a girls' tennis club that seldom plays tennis. Yes, that's the actual description for the show. And that's not trying to insult the fans of Take You, all I'm doing is highlighting how the wrong director was chosen for Berserk 2016. This man, Itagaki Shin, is responsible for the misdirections that the series has taken with the recent series. And it's not the first time he's done this. In summer 2007, an anime adaptation of the famous video game series Devil May Cry was released, animated by the much-loved studio Madhouse Productions, famous for adapting long-lasting, great adaptations of fan-favourite series such as Hajime no Ippo, Hunter x Hunter, and a sizable portion of Hellsing Ultimate. Just like those series, the visuals for Devil May Cry look stunning, and taking a first glance at the anime it seems somewhat decent. But after watching the first couple of episodes, one can see that something is wrong. Pacing issues, terrible writing, uninteresting filler storylines, even though there was a whole 3 games worth of story to adapt from that point in time, with another game right around the corner, Devil May Cry 4. It seemed like the whole series was a big disappointment. This series too was directed by Itagaki Shin. Years later the same issues would rise up again with Berserk 2016, bad pacing issues, rushed dialogue, and even the same boring anime-only content in episode 3 this time. After taking a look back at the portfolio of the director, it becomes apparent that this is a recurring issue, and therefore the best solution would be to completely cut off his involvement with the project. After highlighting everything that we could get, it's only logical to guess what we will actually have in 2017. News came out this morning that Berserk 2017 will be directed by Itagaki Shin. So what this can tell us is that even if there is a lot more 2D than there was in the last one, we're going to be seeing some of these problems rise up yet again, and I think it is due to this director, Itagaki Shin, and I really hope that this won't be the case with Berserk 2017. But until then, everything seems to be pointing towards a disappointment so far. Let me know if you're excited. I am excited to see it, but I'm not getting my hopes up too high. Let me know how you guys are reacting to this. And until then, I'll see you for some live reactions to Berserk 2017. Thanks very much for watching.